Welcome to your favorite channel. It's your boy PB K9s on the PBC, giving it to you like I always do. Fair and biased, raw and uncut. Hope everybody having a great Christmas, man. Having a great day, had a great day. Enjoying the family, and taking care of them pets across the world like I always say, my brothers and my sisters. We got some dog news today, and I'm gonna touch up on a few things like I always do. And I got some videos I want y'all to look at so we can discuss, some of the topics and some of the things I pointed out in the videos. But the very first thing I want to speak about, man, is I'm giving y'all a little bit of news today from an area that I normally don't give you the news from. But it's an area that I always give you the news from. It's the dog fighting raids. I always do the dog fighting raids. So, today, what makes this different about the dog fighting raid is the fact that we got a woman in this situation. And I don't mean a woman in this situation because we have women in all the situations, a lot of the situations. What I mean is we have a woman alone. She was arrested for dog fighting. They seized, I want to say, 18 dogs from her. And pretty much they have the same evidence they have on everybody else, or whatever the evidence they have to call or say a person is having these dogs for fighting. So I'm gonna give y'all that article real quick, and then we're gonna get into some more news articles that I want y'all to check out, and we're gonna break the articles down as well. So where you got it from first, man. Hope everybody enjoying their holidays. Let's get into it.
In Blytheville, Arkansas, police arrested a woman on 36 charges after rescuing 18 dogs from a suspected dogfighting operation. Ailemis Estrada, 36 of Louisville, Kentucky, is being held without bond in the Mississippi County Detention Center following her arrest December. 22 on the following charges: 18 counts of animal cruelty, 18 counts of unlawful dogfighting, possession of a Schedule/2 controlled substance, not methamphetamine or cocaine, greater than 2 grams but less than 28 grams. Harboring fertile animals, Blytheville police arrested Ailemis Estrada, 36 of Louisville, Kentucky, on 36 charges, including animal cruelty, after rescuing 18 dogs from a suspected dogfighting operation. Blytheville police arrested Estrada after Blytheville animal control officers conducting animal welfare checks found 36 dogs at 2 homes on South Ruddle Street, Sergeant Robin Hawtangel said. According to Wednesday's news release, officers seized 18 dogs from a home in the 900 block of Ruddle. Police cited the owner, who was not identified, to appear in district court. Officers then went to another address in the 1100 block of Ruddle, where they found 18 more dogs, Hawtangel said, adding that investigators found evidence the animals were used for dogfighting and arrested Estrada.
Now, I do want to say this. When it comes to the documentary I just put out yesterday, I gave you all them news articles a couple months back, whether you was paying attention or not. I told you it was a European dog bust that just happened. All that stuff in that documentary is new. That's not stuff from last year, none of that type of stuff. All that stuff is new stuff. You know what I'm saying? I was telling y'all about that bust, and I told y'all I couldn't find no information on it. The only place that had the video on it, you couldn't watch it in America. It said you had to be, it was something about the BBC. Something the BBC had going on, and you couldn't watch it. It's like if your IP went back to an American IP address, then you weren't gonna watch it. You couldn't download it. I tried everything I could to get that, not necessarily that particular documentary, but any video, speaking about that. And I believe it was that one, that particular video, And like I said, whatever is on it is all research did by another journalist out there, another journalist. Y'all can't get mad at me because I'm showing you a damn documentary. I'm just giving you the dog stuff out here, letting you see what it is. You know what I'm saying? And being that my news covered the same situation, I know I'm on the right track. I'm in the right circle of things. You know what I'm saying? Because the same things I'm speaking about, they speaking about. Except they gave you a little more depth and detail on what's going on with the brother Vincent Burrell in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? And what's going on with the folk who's getting busted in Europe. You know what I'm saying? Now, some folk can look at that, because I see folk, they make all kind of excuses and they make all kind of comments. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be mad who you need to be mad at. You know, you just want to pick people to be mad at, so you can have an excuse to call this person a name, or have an excuse to use this kind of language with this person. You know what I'm saying? One person, y'all see him down in the comments, maybe not this video, but y'all see them in the comments of the last video. You people. You know, what you mean by you people? You see, it's a lot of ignorance in this dog game, man. You know what I'm saying? And once you ruffle all that ignorance up, everybody start getting mad. Everybody want that ignorance to sit there and you just dip ride ignorance. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want. And I always say this. There's a lot of great brothers that did a lot of great things for dogs in the past. We ain't living in the damn past. We living in today's time and what's going on in the future. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna help or harm any person in this dog game. Worrying about the motherfuckers from the past, that's all good stories and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But far as what a person did in the past, man, listen, you gotta worry about what folk do in today's time. You know what I'm saying? None of that shit gonna help you. It's what folk do in today's time and how you handle and conduct your situation in today's time. But like I said, that particular documentary, you know, I just had to give it to my brother because I know it was fresh on the press. You know what I'm saying? Where I got it from, the brother only had 2,000 views on it. I done got more than that already. You know, so I knew my dog community was bigger than his. The folk I deal with in the dog community. You know what I'm saying? This gonna be one of them 250, 300,000, might be 1 million views video. You know what I'm saying? But it just is what it is. You know where you got it from, man. PB K9s giving it to you the way I always do. Now we're going to a dog bite in Riviera Beach where a group of so-called pit bulls, because we're going to kind of look at this on this episode right here, where we're going to see if these dogs are actually pit bulls that they be talking about on a lot of this stuff, you know. But so-called pit bulls surrounded a woman and her dog, and the dog was on one of them, had a little handicap thing around her hips and stuff, the little buggy so he can walk. So the dog was on a buggy, and he got jumped by some pit bulls, man, and it didn't end well for him. So we're going to get into that news article, and then we're going to keep this thing rolling the way we roll. Everybody having a great Christmas, I hope. PB K9s, you know where you got it from first. Let's get into it.
Recovering from dog bites they suffered while breaking up a vicious dog attack, a woman was walking her dog near Bremerton when 4 pit bulls went after her dog.
Gumbel's Jackie Kent talked with the people who tried to help.
Multiple neighbors tell us the injured dog, a Rhodesian Ridgeback named Jasper, has passed away. Now, it is unclear exactly how the dog died. That is among the many unanswered questions we have for Kitsap County officials. Now, some neighbors are wondering whether the pit bull's owner will be held accountable. A man who lives near 2nd Avenue and Earhart Street described seeing a dog attack right outside as neighbors jumped in to break it up.
It was the most animalistic, barbaric scene I had ever seen.
Lauren Laney showed us her bandaged hand where she says she was bit by a pit bull while trying to save a dog in the street.
So I ran over there to see if I could help. And it was 4 pit bulls attacking this one dog.
She tells us she was walking her daughter to the bus stop when she heard someone's calls for help. She jumped in to try to separate the dogs she described as relentless, then called 911.
2 of them we could scare off, but the other 2 were not letting go. Once we got them to let go, they were right back at it. Someone brought bear mace and was spraying the dogs with bear mace, and it ended up in the air, so I think most of us got maced. But they did not care. They did not stop.
Another man says the pit bull's owner was there but couldn't get them under control.
I was on the phone with police maybe like 10 minutes.
The Kitsap County Sheriff's Office reports animal control took the dogs involved and that this was not their first reported incident. The Kitsap Humane Society has yet to answer our multiple inquiries about what penalties the dog's owner could face and what will happen to those dogs. Of course, we'll let you know as soon as we have more answers. For now, reporting in Kitsap County, Jackie Kent, Come On News.
6 people went to the hospital for treatment. The extent of their injuries is unclear. At least 1 man is set to stay in the hospital overnight.
When it comes to these pit bull or dog attacks, at the end of the day, the breed of the dog is not important. What's important is practicing responsibility, trying to prevent the situation from happening all the way around, no matter what breed of a dog it is, you know. But we're gonna look at this video because we got a pit bull who breaks out of the house. He slips out of the garage. The garage door is open accidentally. He gets out, runs down the street, attack three or four people. Now, we're gonna look at this attack. You know, it's sad, man. It's sad because of the fact of the matter, you know, it happens all the time. And like I said, it's not just with pit bulls. You see brothers with German Shepherds that it happened to. You know, you see people with all kind of breeds that it happened to. They just, you know, and folk always say, my dog was friendly up until this point. You know, he would never bite nobody, you know, up until this point. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna look at this video and then I slowed it down for you. I'm gonna play it all the way through regular, and then I slowed it down and we blowed it up, and we wanna actually look at the dog that's doing the attacking. You know, we're gonna look at that dog and I kinda, you know, slowed it down to where you can actually see the dog. I tried to blow it up as big as I could to where it wouldn't mess the pixels up in the picture. But you can see the dog, man. And like I said, you know, this is all about, I don't know how we're gonna ever, you know, get through this actual situation of dogs attacking people and the word pit bull, you know, and the word American pit bull. Nobody knows besides the people who own these pit bulls like us. We the only ones know that we have the American pit bull and then you got the pit bulls. You know what I'm saying? A broad statement of dogs. You know, your bullies, your different dogs. We the only ones know that. Everybody else called all of them pit bulls. And see, we get kind of agitated and we get aggravated because it don't be our dogs, the real American pit bull, that's doing the attacking. You know, not saying that one or two pit bulls don't attack people. I'm talking about real pit bulls don't attack people throughout the years, but it's not the records that they're giving to the real pit bull. And I don't know how we're gonna get out of that problem to where we don't take the blame for something else, you know? But what we're about to do is we're about to get into this video, man, and y'all check it out, slowing it down, and then we're gonna speak about it when it's done.
Moments caught on camera. Riviera Beach police say a dog escaped from a home and attacked people walking in the street. Officers say 3 people were bitten and rushed to the hospital. They're expected to be okay. We have video and we want to warn you, it might be disturbing. Home surveillance footage shows the dog run up to the group of people, jump at them, and attack. You can hear them screaming in the middle of the street. One of the people began kicking the pit bull to stop it from attacking. CBS 12 News reporter Antoinette Delbel has more from the dog owners of what led up to the attack. Annie?
Police say the dog got loose when the owner accidentally left the garage door open. They say the dog ran down the street here and jumped on 3 people just a few feet away. The owner didn't want to talk to us on camera, but his brother tells us the dog is friendly and has never bitten anyone before. They say it all happened so fast and they're heartbroken. Home security video shows the shocking moment a pit bull mix charges at 2 women and a man out for a walk and attacks.
It was just a random attack that I don't know what triggered that dog to get so aggressive.
Riviera Beach police say the 1-year-old dog named Enzo bit all 3, leaving them with minor puncture wounds. A neighbor saw it happen and called 911.
911, where's your emergency? There's a pit bull out attacking neighbors in the street and they're screaming.
All 3 went to the hospital but are expected to be okay. Police say the dog escaped from a home on Via Hacienda after the owner left the garage door open just before 3 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. In the video, you can see the man kick the pit bull, trying to get him off the woman on the ground.
They were fighting to get this dog off of each other, and they fear that had it been a child or just one person, it could have been a much more brutal attack.
And that's what has this neighbor worried.
My biggest concern is that I have a 5 and a 6-year-old boy that are always coming around and play outside.
Palm Beach County Animal Care and Control has the dog right now and is investigating. ACC's director tells me they're working with the owners and the victims before deciding what happens next. Police are calling this an accident and don't expect to file any charges. In Riviera Beach, Antoinette Delbel, CBS 12 News.
Home surveillance footage shows the dog run up to the group of people, jump at them, and attack. You can hear them screaming in the middle of the street. One of the people began kicking the pit bull to stop it from attacking. Home surveillance footage shows the dog run up to the group of people, jump at them, and attack. You can hear them screaming in the middle of the street. One of the people began kicking the pit bull to stop it from attacking. Home surveillance footage shows the dog run up to the group of people. Jump at them and attack. You can hear them screaming in the middle of the street. One of the people began kicking.
Now I slowed it down, I blowed it up, and you see, you know, from what I see a bully style dog. You know, I see a bully style dog there. And like I said, at the end of the day, the breed don't matter. We need to stop the actual actions from happening. These dogs getting loose like that and accidents happening. I always tell brothers, man, no matter how trained I have my dogs, I have them on, when I'm out there running around with them loose, I got the e-collar on them, and I have other routes of protection. I may have a long line on them so he or she can feel like they're free, but I still got some type of control over them. Because you never know sometimes, man. You never know. And, you know, it's different if you got a Chihuahua or you got some type of dog who may not, you know, if he bites you, it's a little nip or something. You know, you don't want no kind of big dog, no shepherd dog, no bulldogs, no pit bulls, none of them type of dogs to get after somebody out of your control. You know, that's why I always stress putting some obedience in these dogs. You know what I'm saying? Having an obedience competition instead of worrying about protection all the time. And then once you get all your obedience in, you decide whether you want to keep going and putting your protection style work into your dog. You know, a lot of times with these dogs, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say this. You know, a lot of times the time you put in with these dogs' attitudes change. You could be not training your dog for aggression, but you keeping your dog and you working your dog, and your dog done built that bond around him to where nobody ain't gonna be able to mess with you regardless. He gonna growl if certain people come around. You know, he might growl if anybody come too close to you. You know, but he's not a human aggressive dog, but he picking up these traits because he, in his head, he love you and he not gonna let nobody hurt you. You know what I'm saying? So if you got the obedience in them first, regardless, before you even get that whole bond, that bond get that strong, you done put so much obedience in them, now you can control them. You know what I'm saying? And now you can think better when it comes to should you add this or should you add that or whatever, as far as your protection and all that type of stuff. But in this situation, I don't think it's a pit bull. You know what I'm saying? It's just another story where the pit bull, our dogs, we all get the rap for a big pool of different breeds of dogs. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like we got German Shepherds, and when they say a German Shepherd attacks somebody or maul somebody down, everybody who got German Shepherds, you know, they know that that's their kind of dog. You know, when they say pit bull, we don't know if it's the kind of dogs we got or not. You know what I'm saying? It's 2 or 3 different other kind of pit bulls it could be. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a broad spectrum of dogs that all fall in this certain class. You know what I'm saying? Including the class with the American Pit Bull Terriers. Like I said, man, I ain't keeping y'all here too long. Hope everybody having a great day, had a great day, have a great holidays for New Year's. It's your boy K9s. Y'all stay safe, y'all stay legal out there, and I'm out.
The Pitbull Encyclopedia is the ultimate guide for anyone who loves, owns, or wants to learn more about one of the world's most misunderstood dog breeds. Packed with expert insights, breed history, training tips, health advice, and heartwarming stories, this comprehensive book breaks down the myths and highlights the true nature of pit bulls: loyal, intelligent, and loving companions. Whether you're a first-time owner, a seasoned pit bull enthusiast, or an advocate for the breed, the Pitbull Encyclopedia is your go-to resource for understanding and celebrating these incredible dogs.